The most fascinating discovery of our lives is the discovery of ourselves. Every time that I read this quote from Nitin Namdeo, there's always one thing that goes through my mind. What is our self? And who defines us? I have been one of the lucky few who's actually pondered on these questions at such a young age, or so I've been told. Normally, it is something people might fathom after they've graduated college or university and are looking for a job, or even 40 whole years down the line. I'm not targeting anybody. And that is the apex of the issue. We must start asking ourselves these questions now so we can rediscover the purpose of our lives. And I conclude that the ways to do this are through the keys of wonder, thought, and reflection. But how does one exactly get those keys? That is the journey of self-discovery. A lot of people have this misconception that self-awareness, self-acceptance, self-care, and self-love, they can all be bundled up into one thing. When in reality, they are the pivotal steps to reaching the pinnacle that is self-devotion. And self-discovery is the first step. It means to begin to understand your values, your desires, your likes, your dislikes, everything that makes you, you. There are, of course, many ways that we can find ourselves. One thing I believe to be the most important is reconnecting to your inner child. The inner child is a psychological concept that refers to the childlike aspects of our personality. Think of it as the child in you which resurfaces whenever you're faced with similar situations as you were a kid. And the reason why this is so indisputably important is because it is the very core of our being. Think of examples in your daily life. Has there ever been a day where you felt tired and lost, and you accidentally snapped at someone without meaning to? Or you had a fairly minor argument with a friend, but you still felt yourself feeling deeply hurt and rejected? And these behaviors, they can actually be traced back to our childhood. There are, of course, other ways that we can rediscover ourselves. Journaling, for me especially, was something that helped me do this, because I was writing down my thoughts in a transformative way that I could actually look back on and reflect on. But enough expert advice. You guys must be thinking, what is she talking about right now? So I'll tell you something that I've done to be able to stand here in front of you all today. My journey to self-discovery started after the ending of a pretty one-sided and toxic friendship. My heart felt heavy with confusion, and I tried to fill it up with, getting good grades, being a good student, being a good friend. And soon enough, I realized that the different roles that I was playing for others got so overwhelming that I forgot where they end and I begin. That was when I had the slow yet sudden realization that I was losing my sense of self. I didn't know who I was or who I wanted to be anymore, and I wanted answers. I don't know what I would have done if I hadn't chosen to enter therapy. I did it so I could find those very answers. I went up to my mom at the crux of dawn and I asked her, "Mom, I need a therapist." And for a second, she looked at me pretty judgmentally. But then she said, "Sure." My parents agreed, obviously, or not so obviously, because even they knew that I wasn't behaving like my usual self. But most importantly, I wanted this. I wanted answers. And therapy for me actually did that, because it changed the way that I see the world and the way that I see myself. My previous cynical and detached self-view transformed into a motivated and curious one, where I wanted to know more about myself. Questions like, why do I talk this way? Why do I act like this? Why do I like this genre of literature? Why do I want to pursue this career? Even to deep questions such as, why am I alive? And while some questions, arguably, could be answered vaguely and without much thought, Most of them consumed my time to the point where I was completely shut off from the rest of the world and focused on seeking out the answers. And if you may ask, have I figured it out yet? No, I have not. And I don't think anyone can. There is no end to self-discovery. Because as life pulls us along on the string of time, our shadow continues to follow. It is full of our unspoken secrets, our abandoned aspirations, our desires, our past, our traumas. It is what makes us who we are. And that shadow grows bigger with every step that we take. I will not say that discovering yourself is a simple or enjoyable process. It involves seeing that darkness and that pain and unveiling it, accepting the hidden parts of you and carrying it everywhere you go. And here is the best part. You don't have to show that to anyone. That is saved for yourself. You own it. Acknowledge it. Be proud of it. Carry it everywhere you go, because it takes strength to walk with that shadow. One thing I want you guys to remember: it is not selfish or self-centered to put yourself first sometimes. You can't make sacrifices. You can't give to others by sacrificing yourself. So, today, I ask this of you. Nowadays, we lead such busy lives. Our worlds are filled with work, friends, family. But what about you, the very person who is leading your life? If you don't even know yourself, how can you know who you wish to become? So today, or whenever you remember this talk, take out 5 or even 10 minutes a day and just sit with yourself and think. Ask questions about yourself, wonder, and reflect. Because that is the best gift you can give to yourself. Just let yourself be. Thank you.